With symptoms you normally experience when you come down with a cold. But for one Tucson mother, these symptoms lasted for months, leaving doctors confused and ultimately threatening her life. ABC 15's Stephanie Hockridge has her story.
I was cleaning up in the house. I bent over to pick something up off the floor and the fluid just rushed out.
Fluid was rushing from Andrea's nose.
I had no control over it. And I went to the bathroom and, was trying to blow my nose.
But this was no ordinary runny nose.
It just wasn't right. It was too much. It was too much that was coming out.
After a few visits to local clinics, doctors claimed it was just bad allergies. But it was her last opinion that stood out from the rest.
And he said, well, it could be, spinal cerebral fluid. I said, coming from where? Coming from your brain. And I said, oh. But he said, that's so rare. It's very rare. It's highly unlikely that you would have that.
But she did.
She had fluid that was leaking around her brain and going through these very small cracks in the bone.
It's pretty rare, maybe a handful of times a year, where it's a spontaneous CSF leak.
These doctors say the case can be found in up to 1 in 200,000 people.
If she got a bad cold or a bad sinus infection, she could have gotten a bad meningitis or lining of the brain infection, and those can potentially be fatal.
And he just looked at me and he says, you're having brain surgery. You're going to be in here a while. After that, I really didn't hear anything he was saying. I couldn't believe it.
After 4 months of gushing fluid, Andrea was ready for surgery. The surgery successfully blocked the cracks in her bone that the fluid was leaking through.
I am still in shock. I don't think it's really sunk in yet.
Stephanie Hockridge, ABC 15 News.
Well, Andrea has since made a full recovery. Other notable people with this injury, actor George Clooney. He actually experienced a brain fluid leak after a pretty rough scene in a movie. Hard to believe that's kind of
That's incredible. Well, and